The defense objects to the use of video conferencing for this bench trial. There's a presumption and procedure against bench trials under Michigan Court Rule 2.408 sub A2. There are factors the court may consider when allowing virtual testimony in various capacities. Under the factors in subparagraphs 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 10, and 11, the defense objects to proceeding remotely. Factor 3 concerns the relative importance of the witnesses, and in this case, it appears as though the property manager and the pest control company are of high importance, so their testimony in person, that factor leans in favor of testimony in person. Factor under subparagraph 4, the opportunity for a full and effective cross-examination. Some of these exhibits are approaching 50 pages, and again, the witnesses are the high important witnesses. Many of them are virtual, so the ability for Mr. Stroop to have proper effective cross-examination of the witness is compromised. Factor 5 is undermining the integrity, fairness, and effectiveness of the proceedings. The defense argues that this factor weighs in their favor as well, because as exhibited by how much time we just spent looking for the lease and which lease is at issue, it's very hard to undertake a virtual hearing and understand with certainty that the parties are looking at all of the same pages. Under subparagraph 6, a factor to consider is whether a defendant's physical liberty or a fundamental interest is at issue in the case. And this is a civil procedure rule. I would argue that there is nothing more fundamental about Mr. Stroop's physical liberty to and interest to live in housing and to not be homeless. Under subfactor 10, or factor 10, the defense has not waived or stipulated to virtual testimony, and we have reiterated this position multiple times. And under subfactor 11, I'm sorry, Judge, I can't read my handwriting, but well, I know what your ruling is going to be.
The ruling is denied. Mr. Stroop isn't even here himself, and I haven't given an explanation for why he's not here. He wasn't excused by the court, but you don't have to come as a defendant in a civil case if your attorney appears on your behalf. It's not the same as a criminal case, but it's great expense and inconvenience to all these parties to come here. We've been here, I don't know, 12 times. I'm the finder of fact. I believe I can make those fact findings virtually from the testimony of the witness. Chief Hayden is here personally. Manager, I can see her clearly. The pest control company has had to suspend their operations for the day to be here present for this hearing. And your motion is preserved on the record, but it is denied also. Any other motions?
No, Judge.
Ms. Amato, are you ready to proceed?
I am, Your Honor. Thank you.
Let's start with Chief Hayden.
Judge,
yes.
Do we get to do opening statements?
I guess so. Ms. Amato, do you wish to make an opening statement?
No, Your Honor. We've already spent an hour and a half of the court's time marking exhibits and hearing motions. I would rather just do a closing and proceed. Thank you.
All right. Opening from the defense.
I suppose before I proceed, we should have said I did stipulate in the interest of the court's time and efficiency. I stipulated to the admission of the plaintiff's proposed exhibits 1, 3 through 7, and 3 through 8. Attorney Amato, I'll stipulate to exhibit 8. It's fine.
Thank you.
The only unstipulated proposed exhibit is exhibit 2. Now, you don't know which ones we're talking about, but I did attempt to respect the court's time.
Laura, we're having a trial, so I guess you better come. All right, any further opening statement?
Yes, thank you, Your Honor. The question before you today.
Judge Middleton denies the summary motion and makes it clear this case is moving forward. The defense objects to a virtual bench trial, arguing fairness and cross-examination issues, but the judge shuts it down fast. Then he points out the biggest problem of all: the defendant isn't even there.
Has defendant's conduct given the plaintiff just cause to terminate his tenancy? Good just cause for this particular type of regulated housing is codified at 7 CFR 3560.159, subparagraph A to I, specifically actions by the tenant which disrupt the livability of the housing, threatening health and safety. Keyword there being actions by the tenant. So the question is, has the defendant's conduct given the plaintiff just cause, or is the plaintiff looking to scapegoat an easy, vulnerable target for its ongoing neglect to keep its premises fit and habitable under the covenants of the law? As you listen to testimony, you will hear different types of treatment conflated with each other. You will hear testimony about routine inspections from the pest control company. You will also hear about specific units being testified to. You will hear testimony about days to weeks going between tenants reporting bed bugs issues and treatment and spray or other appropriate treatment actually being administered. You will hear inconsistent protocols for treatment, whether that be protocol on behalf of the landlord or protocol on behalf of the pest control company. So you will hear inconsistent decisions about when the company is to bring a dog out to inspect the unit and why. You will hear inconsistent testimony about which units were steam treated and when and why. You will hear a glassing over of the treatment done at the adjacent units to Mr. Stroop's apartment. You will hear testimony from his care team that he has had this issue for 5 years without abatement, to the extent that his care team has been unable to access his apartment and mitigate some of the issues that Officer Hayden is going to testify to. You will hear that Officer Hayden's orders were not eviction orders, but were remediable, and that the plaintiff did not take opportunity to fix those units when it could. You will hear that there has been no regular action to address normal wear and tear. The pest control company is going to testify to where they administered treatment in different units. And you will see inconsistency between Mr. Stroop's unit and other units in what is treated. You will hear that Mr. Stroop complied with treatment. And the test before you is what actions by the tenant give the landlord just cause to terminate his tenancy. In this case, Mr. Stroop has acted and his care team has acted. You will hear that they facilitated a heat treatment in his unit. You will hear that they removed his belongings. You will hear that he has not reintroduced the bugs. Rather, the pest control company and the management company and plaintiff failed to properly and fully treat those bugs under those circumstances. You should ask yourself, when they treated while you're listening to the testimony, When did they treat the vents in his unit? You should ask yourself if they sprayed the crown molding in his unit when they did in other units. You should ask yourself what they've done about the carpet in the unit, and if that is where there was an issue. And you will see there is contradiction between how the units surrounding Mr. Stroop's apartment were treated and inspected before and after his heat treatment. If Mr. Stroop did not reintroduce these bugs, then the plaintiff does not have cause to terminate him. If he complied with the treatment and he did not reintroduce the bugs, which the evidence you will hear today will show, then Mr. Stroop is not the menace. The neglect of KMG Property Management Group and the ball shuffling, the shell game of the management company and the pest control company are the real menace on this property and the real reason that property continues to be condemned. Thank you.
All right, Ms. Amato, I'm not so much interested in the last 5 years of pest bug treatment, and I've heard much of this. I'm interested in the current condition of these premises that caused them to be condemned. Chief Hayden, would you come forward and be sworn, or you already are sworn, but I'll swear you again. You swear or affirm any testimony you're about to give in this matter will be true to the best of your knowledge and belief.
I do.
Would you state your name for the record, please?
Michael Hayden, Haydon.
Mr. Hayden, what's your occupation?
I'm the ordinance officer for the Village of Constantine. I'm also the fire chief and the rental inspector.
All right. You also do zoning enforcement for other jurisdictions?
Yes.
How long have you been in fire service?
33 years.
Ms. Amato, you may inquire.
Thank you. Mr. Hayden, what do you do for the city? What are your jobs?
I am the village ordinance enforcement officer, rental inspector, and also serve as the fire chief.
And you are familiar with Mr. Kevin Stroop?
Yes.
And you have been to his apartment?
Yes, I have.
And were you at his apartment on September 11th of 2025?
Yes, I was.
And you had an opportunity to observe that apartment inside?
Yes, I did.
Okay. And did you prepare a report?
I did a post-inspection report, yes.
Your Honor, I would like to move for admission of Plaintiff's Exhibit 1, and this has been stipulated to by Ms. Bauer. It is the inspection report.
Yes, and this is where her objection has some merit to it, because where is Exhibit 1?
It's probably out of order right now. It's titled Village of Constantine Post Inspection Report dated September 11th,
Dated September 11th
2025.
of 2025.
That's correct, Your Honor.
Attorney Amato, you proposed that to me and I stipulated to that as exhibit number 4. So,
Right.
or is that the number 4 that we discussed?
Yes, that is the number 4 we discussed.
All right, we'll call it plaintiff's exhibit number 4.
Oh, thank you, Judge.
All right, and
That's
we're not
helpful.
here
Thank
to
you, Your
mark it, and that's why it's difficult, because this is cumbersome without you being here. All right.
This document is 2 pages. The
Just a
training
minute.
model.
That's correct.
Did I?
All right, here it is on the screen. Plaintiff's not here to show it to you. It's kind of constrained in this amount of space, but is that it? Your Village of Constantine post-inspection report dated September 11th of 2025?
Yes.
And you have it in front of you?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. All right, you may inquire.
Thank you. Mr. Hayden, looking at that document, what can you tell us that you observed and what you noted on that day when you were at Mr. Stroop's apartment?
It says that the apartment was dirty with overall debris, food, and other trash all over. The kitchen had dirty dishes and food all over it. There was health and safety issues that need to be corrected. The bathtub drain plugs broken, and a reinspection would needed to be done in 14 days.
Thank you. On that day, on September 11th, did you also take photographs of the apartment?
Yes.
Your Honor, I'd move for admission of Plaintiff's Exhibit 5, and that is where the court has the photographs right there.
And this is also stipulated to admissibility?
It is, Your Honor. So the defense would ask that this not be broadcast.
All right, you can ask. We're going to share it. All right, so did you take these pictures on September 11th of 2025 on that initial inspection?
Yes, I did.
Are they fair and accurate pictures of what you saw?
Yes, they are.
All right, here's the first picture. What are we seeing here?
That's the kitchen table. There's trash on the floor there, some food containers and stuff sitting on the table, and dirty dishes. This one is the kitchen counter. There is, I can only describe it as like a tarry substance on the right-hand side of the counter. I don't know what's on the floor. And then again, dirty dishes and remnants on the counter and stove. That is a closer photo of the trash and things that were sitting next to the trash can in the kitchen. That is the top of the refrigerator. There is kind of a greasy film on it, and then some other items that really are not a problem. The stove and counter, that's a closer shot of the condition of. There's grease and dirty dishes and some food containers there. Yes, sir.
Okay.
That is a close-up of the cot. It is hard to see in the photo, but over by the white blanket or whatever, there was a bed bug that you can see clearly. There were other smaller ones around the blanket. That is the bathroom sink. It's just poor lighting. It's not, I don't know what that orange is. It's just poor lighting. Just the condition of the sink, which really isn't an issue at this point. There was no violation there. Just take a picture for documentation. This is the bathroom. The floor has something all over it. In that picture there, the forefront is a shadow, but in the back, it has, I don't know, something on the floor that is just sticky to walk on.
What's on the right? Is that the shower or a tub?
Yes, that's the bathtub shower, which is the next photo.
And were there feces in the toilet? Is that what we're seeing, all that brown?
Yes, you can see that better in an upcoming photo.
I've seen it well enough.
Thank you.
That is the bathtub. Like I stated, the drain was broken, the plug so that it doesn't hold water, and then it's just dirty.
All right, that's enough of that one. Condition of the toilet.
That is just another shot of the bedroom as I was going back out. The last photo is more of a close-up of some of the bed bugs and other eggs and things.
All right, that's the last of the pictures for Exhibit 5. All right.
And Mr. Hayden, you, after you did your inspection, what was your finding?
On the 11th, I failed the apartment and notified management that it would have to be re-inspected. I also told Mr. Stroop that it would need to be re-inspected in 14 days.
And when you say you failed the apartment, what does that mean?
It was a rental inspection. We do biannual or every other year inspections for code and health. And because of the conditions, it failed on the health side. So it would need to be re-inspected to have a certificate of approval.
And did you do another inspection in 2 weeks?
I did.
And were those the photographs that you took on October 2nd?
I believe it was the 25th I did the re-inspection.
Oh, I'm
25th
sorry,
of
got a little ahead of, yes. And did you at that time do an ordinance violation notice?
Yes.
Your Honor, Ms. Bauer and I have agreed to plaintiff's exhibit 6, which is the ordinance violation notice.
No objection, therefore, Your Honor.
Well, let me find it. I'll stop the share. Thought it was next up. Again, that's a difficulty with not having. These are October 2nd pictures. Is that where you've got it placarded on the? All right. There were. Well, let's just use the paper copy that you got there. Okay. Well, here it is. I found it. Exhibit number 6 is ordinance violation notice dated 9/25/26. All right, here it is. This is Exhibit 6. All right, well, you may inquire as to the exhibit.
Thank you, Your Honor. Mr. Hayden, you prepared this document,
Yes, I did.
and what did you observe that you noted on September 25th?
The conditions of cleanliness were better, but there was still evidence of bed bugs and some other cleanliness issues. So under the International Property Maintenance Code and the rental ordinance, violation was issued for the sections of the tenant responsibilities, which are noted in the paragraph there.
You also noted, you said unsanitary conditions in the kitchen, in the and the bathroom.
Mainly in the bathroom, I believe, at that point. There were still some in the kitchen, but the dirty dishes and food were cleaned up on the second visit.
Okay. And did
What's
you
the
at some
effect
point, oops, sorry.
of this notice?
This notice gave Mr. Stroop an additional 14 days to bring the apartment back into compliance, or he was going to be issued a citation under both ordinance or under the rental ordinance.
Did you share that with Mr. Stroop?
Yes, he was given a copy.
All right, Ms. Amato, you may continue.
Thank you. Did you in fact issue a certification to Mr. Stroop, a citation?
Yes, I went back on October 2nd and the apartment still failed, so he was issued a citation.
And did you at that time also declare the unit to be uninhabitable?
Yes.
And in declaring the unit uninhabitable, did you post a notice on the door?
I did. And on the patio door as well.
Okay. Move for admission of Plaintiff's Exhibit 7, Your Honor, which has been stipulated to, and that is the green danger sign.
That was posted on the door.
Yes, Your Honor.
Exhibit 7 may be admitted.
And Mr. Hayden, you indicated that was posted on the front door and on the sliding glass door?
Yes.
Okay. And what does that mean to you when you say that or what does that mean when you call a unit uninhabitable? What is that?
The notice on the door says it is unsafe for human occupancy or use. And under the ordinance, it also revokes the certificate of approval for it to be a rentable unit.
And what does that mean?
That means that no one can eat, sleep, drink, or otherwise occupy. They are permitted to come and go to get items, personal items out of it, or to make repairs, or in this case, remediate the cleanliness and the bugs. Or anybody can do that, but no one's supposed to be sleeping there or eating there.
And did you explain that to Mr. Stroop?
I did.
And what was his response?
Initially when I posted it, he said he would have to make arrangements to leave. I referred him back to his ACT team in Pivotal to help him, or DHS workers to help him.
And you heard Ms. Bauer today state that Mr. Stroop is still living there, correct?
I don't know that I stated that exactly, but
Is that correct, Mr. Hayden?
That's what I heard, but so is you.
I heard it referenced that he was still at the unit. I don't remember who said what.
And okay, and that is in violation of your ordinance, correct? I'm sorry, your
Of the posted
certification,
notice, yeah.
posted notice. Okay. Thank you. Did you then also have an opportunity to go back to the unit on October 2nd?
That was when this notice was posted and the citation was issued.
Okay. And did you take pictures that day as well?
I did.
And what exhibit is that?
Exhibit 8, Your Honor, and that's been stipulated
Exhibit
too.
8?
Yes.
All right.
And defense stipulated.
And defense has again indicated that she stipulated to exhibit 8. I didn't know what it was at the time she represented it, but she's confirmed it. All right, are these the photographs that you took on October 2nd of 2025 at this apartment 17?
Yes, they are.
Are they fair and accurate pictures of what you saw?
Yes, they are.
All right, what are we seeing here?
This is again the kitchen counter. The brown stain is still there. However, it appears to be a stain on the counter, but there are some other food items in there, and there's a couple of cleaning items also. This is the other side of the counter. There's a few dirty dishes in the sink, and then the counter has that stain and discoloration and kind of a grease. The same with the stove. It's the pans were, I believe, clean, but the stove still is kind of has that grease on it. This, I should have made notes on it because it's a big gray spot. I believe this is the entrance to the bedroom, and there was a some kind of a stain on the very top of that photo. The bottom is a shadow, but I really can't see good on this picture. This one is the corner. You can see in the corner there were they were bugs and flies, I believe, that were in the corner by that baseboard. The refrigerator again has the food in it, but it still has the dirt and stains or whatever is in the bottom. This one is the chair again. There is some bugs on it. There were some live. That is not all bed bugs. Some of that is dead stuff that just wasn't cleaned up, but there were live bugs also.
Mr. Hayden, is some of that tobacco?
Some of the bigger pieces are something like tobacco. Yeah, he does roll his own stuff. This picture, I did circle the bugs that were there. That is on a jacket that's laying on that cot. And then we're back to the bathroom, and it still has that whatever sticky debris on the floor. I don't know what happened to pages 10 through 15.
So that's the end of it?
That's the end of this exhibit, yes.
Mr. Hayden, did you cite the facility?
I did not.
Why not?
Because in my opinion as a rental inspector, they had met the safety code violations, and the problem with the apartment appeared to me to be the tenant and the cleanliness of maintaining it under the section of the ordinance for tenant responsibility.
When you spoke with Mr. Stroop, did he indicate that he wanted help?
He told me he was trying to take care of things. But everybody just wanted him to throw stuff away.
Did you notice any bed bugs on Mr. Stroop when you saw him?
I don't recall if I saw any bed bugs, but he has several bites on his arms and legs.
Thank you, Your Honor. I have no further questions.
All right, Ms. Bauer, you have questions for Chief Hayden?
I do, thank you, Judge. Hayden. September of 2025, the first time you'd ever inspected Mr. Street.
Was it the only time?
The first time, or had you inspected?
No, it was inspected 2 years prior.
Were the countertops stained when you inspected it previously?
I do not remember.
Is removing the stains on the countertops necessary to resolve the ordinance violation?
No, not stains on the countertop. Grease or whatever is on that and the stove would need to be cleaned. But not. The main thing for the posting of it was the bed bugs and sanitary conditions, mainly in the bathroom.
So when you re-inspected on September 25th,
Yes.
if there were no bed bugs, is it possible the unit would have passed inspection?
Objection calls for speculation.
Well, that's his area of expertise. I'll note your objection, but overrule it.
It would have probably failed the inspection, but I don't know that I would have posted it if it didn't have the combination with the bed bugs.
Is there rusty water in Constantine or hard water?
Yes.
Is there rust in some of the water photos that we have reviewed today?
I don't know if I call it rust, but it would be hard water stain, yes.
Is it required for a tenant to remove hard water stains in order to pass an
No.
inspection? In your estimation, was some of the black on the counters and on the floors, did that appear to have permanence?
You mean on the kitchen counters?
And the kitchen floors, yeah.
Yes, I would say it's probably stained with something. The issue being it's like a tarry feel to it, because the first inspection I did touch it. I didn't in the previous. It was almost like well, there was a coffee pot there, so maybe burnt coffee or something.
And you don't remember seeing that kind of staining 2 years prior?
I do not recall, no. I couldn't say either way.
Did you provide a copy? I think you said this. You provided a copy of the inspection report to the property management.
Yes.
Did you hear from the property management company after that
Regarding the re-inspection,
regarding the unit?
yes, I set up a time to meet with them on the 25th. And then I told them I was going back on the 2nd. They did not go with me on the 2nd. And then I told them that the property was uninhabitable and he should not be staying there. The previous management.
Have you had any interaction with the current management company?
Not regarding this case, but to re-register the units, they did a register to switch as far as the management company.
And did either management company provide you with any bed bug treatment receipts?
No,
Did they provide you with any dates that they had treated
no.
the unit? And they didn't tell you they were treating the unit?
They told me that it was being, I think the word they used was steam cleaned or steam treated. And that they were in this action.
Your Honor, objection is to hearsay, what the management company may or may not have said.
The management company is a party statements, an exception to the hearsay rule. Just
Sure.
like a party, of anything that Mr. Stroop said would also fall under the exception to the hearsay rule.
Well, it's also the management company. I don't know.
Agent,
Who is that person?
The property manager, I believe her name was Shannon.
the defense would renew that if that's not a party statement, then they're not the real party in interest.
They are a party, and there is a hearsay exception for parties. Although the plaintiff can't bring in hearsay. This is the defense questioning the plaintiff's witness. So I'll allow the statements. If Ms. Amata was to ask him these questions, you could object. But you're asking him on behalf of the defense as an adverse party. So for that purpose, it's not hearsay.
So just to backtrack, Officer Hayden, property management company indicated to you sometime between September 2025 and October of 2025 that they were steam treating the unit?
Actually, I believe it was after the citation was issued. So it probably would have been after October, but I can't swear to what time frame. I just remember her telling me, because I wanted to follow up and ask her, you know, because I was trying to get the man back into his apartment. So I said, has it been treated yet? And they said that they were working through things. It was slated to be, and I think she called it steam treated, and that there was a plan being put in place. I don't remember the terms of that plan or what it was. But once they had notified me that there was an eviction, I backed off any further enforcement because I can't put him out. It's just an order that then nobody's supposed to live there.
Did you ever receive any receipts for steam treatment?
No. No documentation. It was only verbal between Shannon and myself.
So as far as you're aware, you have no evidence that the unit was ever steam treated in that period. And did you tell Mr. Stroop that he was being evicted?
No. I told him that this was not an eviction.
And did you tell him that it could be remediated?
Yes, I said once the bed bugs and the cleanliness was remediated, I would reinspect and then reinstate the certificate of approval.
In your estimation, would it take more than a couple of hours to clean the non-bed bug issues in that apartment?
Objection as to this witness's ability to talk about cleaning an apartment, and what is his opinion as to relevance?
Sustained. I do have a question. Did you ever reinstate the occupancy permit for this apartment?
No.
So on one hand, did you tell Mr. Stroop that you were saying he couldn't live there, but it was not an eviction?
Yes, I told him he could not live there, but once it was cleaned and re-inspected, he could move back.
Did you tell Pine Valley Place they couldn't rent the property in that condition for human habitation?
I notified them that it was posted unsafe for human habitation.
Has that ever been lifted?
No.
All right, Ms. Bauer, further questions?
Did you cite any other units in your annual inspection?
Citation issued or failed inspections?
Both.
No tickets, but there were, I believe on the one, the very first one, exhibit. Number 4, they're mentioned at the bottom, 16, 17, and 24.
The defense frames it like this: is the tenant being scapegoated for years of pest control failures? They argue the landlord's neglect is the real issue and that the tenant complied with treatment and didn't reintroduce anything. But Judge Middleton cuts through the noise and focuses on one thing: the current condition that triggered condemnation.
Do you see bed bugs in apartments a lot when you inspect? Let me rephrase. I'm sorry. Let me withdraw that question. Have you inspected apartments with bed bugs that are not Mr. Stroop's?
In this complex or anywhere?
Anyway,
Yes.
and you've seen varying levels of infestations.
Yes.
Where do bed bugs, when you see them, you most often see them by beds?
Yes, furniture, they tend are to be found where a person or clothing accumulates because of the dead skin cells is what they live off, I guess. So around beds, blankets, chairs, furniture type of stuff like that.
I'd like you to look at page 5 of Exhibit 8.
Which one?
8, page 5 of 8. You testified earlier that there were bugs in this picture.
I think I said dead flies. If I said bugs, I meant flies.
So there are no, you don't recall seeing any bed bugs on the floor in his unit?
Yes, I did, but they were by the chair. This, I believe, looking at the tile, that's tile in that picture, which you referred to on 5. So that would have to probably be either in the kitchen corner of the kitchen, by the table, or the bathroom, because that's the only 2 places that are tiled.
Did you see bed bugs in the bathroom?
No, I don't believe there were bed bugs in this picture. I think these were dead flies. The bed bugs in these photos would have been page 7. And as you pointed out, that's not all bed bugs, but there are, and they're hard to see in these pictures. And then in page 8, and the 2 of those that I circled.
You ever see bed bugs around baseboards?
I have, but generally there's clothing, something there for them to like hide under or whatever.
Have you ever encountered bed bugs in venting, like HVAC systems?
Your Honor, objection as to relevance for
Yeah, I'm
this
not
case
clear
at
where we're
hand, if
going.
we could limit the, yeah,
It's relevant to the source of the infestation and whether the bugs transfer between units or not. Well, it's relevant to the harm of the infestation just as much as it's relevant to where they're coming into the unit and to the efficacy of the treatment protocol undertaken by the plaintiffs, because this case is about whether Mr. Stroop himself acted poorly and who is responsible for this bed bug infestation and proper remediation of it. So I believe, so the questions are relevant, but I won't dwell on them.
All right, go ahead.
Your Honor, if I could respond to that? If we're going to be asking questions about,
Let me tell you where we are. Right now, I have enough evidence to terminate this tenancy. I don't need to go into 5,000 pages of bed bug treatment. This apartment has been condemned and declared to be unsafe for human habitation. That information was relayed to Mr. Stroop. Was also relayed to the apartment complex. It doesn't matter who started it or how it got there. This apartment is presently unfit for human habitation and has not been lifted. If I understand, the defendant continues to live there. I don't need to know how it got this way. It is this way, and he's in it. And the apartment is prohibited from renting it. He's also continuing to get bit up by bed bugs and living in a filthy environment. So I have enough evidence right now, based on the testimony that's been given regarding the fact that the apartment has been declared unfit for human habitation. The complex has been notified, it hasn't been lifted, and the defendant is still there. So I'll let her finish her cross-examination, but as far as I'm concerned, you don't need to present any additional evidence. The defendant will have an opportunity to present evidence, but I believe you've met your burden based on the testimony I've heard so far. Ms. Bauer, you may finish your cross-examination of the witness.
May I respond to that?
No, you can finish the cross-examination of your witness, and then you can make your argument at the time we get to that.
Mr. Hayden, are you aware if this property is subsidized?
I believe it is, but I don't know any of the, I haven't seen any of the documentation, but I believe several of them are.
Okay. At this date and time, could actions be taken that would make this unit habitable?
Yes.
So this violation could be cured.
Yes.
And the single biggest reason this violation is not cured, or has not been cured so far, is because it is still infested with bed bugs.
Not the single. There were other,
Biggest.
it is a large one, but the cleanliness and health issues also go with it.
You indicated at your reinspection that the housekeeping issues have been improved,
Yes.
and that Mr. Stroop indicated a desire to fix the issue.
Yes, he told me he had been cleaning on the kitchen.
And has Mr. Stroop ever been hostile to you?
Not to me, no.
He's always cooperated.
Objection, Your Honor.
The ordnance officer takes the stand and describes what he saw in the apartment: trash, food, health hazards, and bedbugs. Then the court admits the photo exhibits. The defense asks not to broadcast them, but the judge shares them anyway, and the room goes silent as the images are explained one by one.
On what grounds?
Just a relevance.
Yes, what's the relevance of it?
This is subsidized property, and the plaintiff must have good and just cause on behalf of the actions of the tenant to warrant an order of possession. So whether or not the property is livable and how it got that way is relevant to whether Mr. Stroop should be in that unit or another unit, but not relevant to whether they have proper cause to terminate his tenancy. This is a subsidized complex that receives money for disabled individuals.
All right.
And they have a duty to them.
You-
He has not been hostile.
All right, fine, he has not been hostile.
The last thing I have on my list to ask you about I guess it's two things, but is that your phone, Officer Hayden? Looking at page 9 of Exhibit 8. The toilet is cracked. Did you notice the toilet running a lot?
No.
And is it customary for tenants to be responsible for fixing broken drains?
No.
Was the drain in this complex ever fixed?
Don't remember.
Did you re-inspect for a broken, you cited him for a broken drain though?
Well, initially, on the initial inspection, the broken drain was noted, yes. It would have not been uninhabitable for just a broken drain, so I don't believe I paid attention to it on the second inspection.
Okay. Did you ever receive evidence that the broken drain had been repaired from the plaintiff? Did they ever?
I don't believe so.
No further questions, Your Honor.
All right, anything further, Ms. Amato?
The officer says the unit failed inspection and needed rechecking within 14 days. A follow-up inspection leads to an ordinance violation notice, and the judge points out how hard it is to keep exhibits straight when parties aren't physically present. The case shifts from arguments to evidence, and now the condition of that unit is the center of everything.
Just two questions, Your Honor. Ms. Bauer asked you about hard water and rust. You wouldn't have failed an inspection for rust, would you?
No.
Okay. You mentioned tarry substance.